You're listening to the Master Passive Income Podcast Network. Welcome to the Master Passive Income Show. My name's Dustin Heiner, and I'm here to help you retire early, never work a job again because you invest in real estate. And in today's show, I'm super pumped to bring on a fantastic engineer who had analysis paralysis, started work with me, coached him to invest in real estate, and now he's done it. He's going to share with you how he did it and how you can do it as well. All right, let's start the show.
Welcome to the Master Passive Income Podcast, where we talk about investing in real estate with a special focus on making enough money so you can quit your job and live the dream life. And now, here is your host, Dustin Heiner.
What's up? What's up? Super blessed as always to have you here with me on the show. And honestly, I am so glad that you are really wanting to invest in real estate. Now, if you haven't invested in real estate yet, get ready because we are entering the best time ever to invest in real estate. And when I say the best time ever, honestly, it's going to be better than 2009 and 10. If you were investing back in 2009, 10, 11, 12, you're like, oh my goodness, we can buy so many properties. This is such an amazing time. Well, I'd be completely honest and say, I'm seeing something coming that I am so excited for. Before I get into what I'm excited about, I will have to say, though, that I'm not happy that people will lose their jobs. I'm not happy that the economy is going to go south. I'm not happy that there's going to be a lot of bad times for people. Sadly, when people lose their jobs, they're going to lose their homes. They're going to foreclose. Well, that brings more properties on the market for us. So I'm definitely not excited for them, for all the problems that are coming, but I am excited for us as real estate investors and what is coming. I believe we are going to very, very soon get into a time where it's back in 2010, 11, and 12, when the economy was going very, very badly and prices were so crazy cheap on homes that you could basically trip and fall and find a great deal on a property and buy it. Now, those people that bought back in 2012, their homes are doubled in value. The rents are doubled in value. And I think, and I believe, we are entering into that time right now. Now, next week, I'm probably going to give you another episode that is going to be going into more in depth in about AI and everything that I'm seeing there, and all these problems with the economy. So next week, get ready for that episode. That episode is going to be awesome. I'm going to be walking you through a lot of things that I'm seeing, as well as how to protect yourself, not just protect yourself, actually thrive when all these problems come. But today, I am seeing that we are actually entering into the best time. And the reason why I see that is because interest rates are going up, which you know if you've been listening to my show, we love interest rates to go up because that prices out our competition out of the market. Homeowners, those are our competitions. You and I, investors, are not competition. It's the homeowners. They're the ones that fall in love with properties. They're the ones that love, how it looks, the curb appeal and all that sort of stuff. And then they way overpay for the property. We don't do that. We underpay for the properties. We want to capture equity when we buy it, so we make money when we buy it. Well, I'm seeing interest rates going up and prices are coming down. In an area that I invest in Tennessee, one home that I saw a year ago, they were asking $100,000 more than it is now. So they've dropped the price so many times. Now it's $100,000 less. I think it's like $499. It's still a little pricey. It's a little much more higher than I would want to buy it for. It's going to be a short-term or a mid-term property. And I want to buy it probably at like maybe $400,000. That's probably a good price for it. But what I'm seeing is prices are coming down. Interest rates are still high, and they're going to go even higher because inflation is here. Inflation is actually taking off. It's getting worse and worse, and the government's going to start printing money. So I'm going to be talking about all of that stuff next week and get you ready so that you can thrive. Actually thrive in this terrible time that's we're going to be entering in here pretty soon. But when you are thinking about your investing in real estate, there's a lot of different things that you need to do. You know that you need to build a business. You know you need to hire the experts to do the work rather than you doing it. because obviously I tell you that all the time. And at the same time, there are struggles that we all as investors, and I get it too. Don't get me wrong, I get this struggle too. It's called analysis paralysis. It's analyzing so many properties, having so many deals in your mind, and you're just like, what is a good price? What is a good property? What is it? And there's just so many things that you really just get stuck. You get stuck in a certain point where you're analyzing too many things and you don't really know what's the best decision. Now you might know it, but acting on that is hard. And what I love with my students is they get analysis paralysis and then they come find me and they listen to the podcast and then they get things cleared up in their mind. Things get cleared up in their mind so that they can say, you know what, a third party, somebody who has no, or number one, I've done it before, but they don't have any skin in the game. If I, buy a good property, or if I buy a bad property, like a realtor, they want you to buy a property. That's what they want you to do. So they're going to tell you all the great things, even maybe mislead you. Not saying that they 100% will, but they're not going to tell you every bit. They want to sell a house. But when you have a third party, somebody like me or one of the coaches, like the person I'm bringing on, he's a coach here at Master Passive Income. We're now like, you just look at us as third party people outside that know how to do it, have done it many times before. And we want you to succeed in buying the right properties, making cash flow every single month so you don't have to work. A third party is not going to beat around the bush. They're going to tell you exactly how it is. And that's what I love when we're coaching our students. And I shared with you last week that I started an Inner Circle mastermind. Now, and this has been for a long time, I don't do one-on-one coaching. I just don't do it anymore. I just don't have the time to do it. And so my students now have become one-on-one coaches, and they're doing such an amazing job coaching their students who are doing better than they did. So my students have done better than me, meaning retired faster, and their students are doing better than them, which is super amazing. And what I love now is that I have now the ability to create an inner circle or a mastermind. And I have been blessed to create an inner circle mastermind where we get together. Active investors are active students who want to take their investing to the next level. They want to scale. They want to be around me. Well, we started the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle is we get together 3 to 4 times a year. We even do a mastermind in paradise, but we get together 4 times a year where we are masterminding together for 2 intensive days where we get together, where I'm there, where I'm coaching them, but I'm at the same time, everybody's working together. Year after year, this Inner Circle is continually growing together to scale their businesses. And the reason why I started this was because I saw that my life was changed when I started my own mastermind. And then when I joined a $50,000 mastermind, every year I have to pay $50,000 a year to be a part of this mastermind. But I have made so much more money. Well, number one, I made a lot of friends there, which is great. Number two, I've made so much more money by learning how these experts are doing their business differently than me. And that gets me to buy larger apartment complexes and get other people to invest in deals with me where they can benefit. There's just so many great things about a mastermind, because what we do is we're able to see what other people are doing. People who are at a different level than us, let's say they're climbing this mountain and they're like 10 plateaus ahead of us. We can see now because they walk us through what they've done. So that's what we do here at the Inner Circle. The Master Passive Income Inner Circle is amazing. And we're meeting here in May 22nd and 23rd. And it's all year long and continuing, where we're constantly getting together 3 to 4 times a year. If you want to join, you have to apply. You have to be at a certain level and you have to apply to be a part of my Inner Circle. You apply and then we'll get on a call and just make sure it's a great fit for you, because we want you. If you're at a certain level, if you're already scaling to become financially independent, if you're on the path, and you're not just going to have 1 or 2 properties. If you have 1 or 2 properties, it's probably not the best fit. We want people who have the vision of scaling. If they're like 3, 4, 5, 10 properties, those are the types of investors that we want to be a part of it. So if you go to masterpassiveincome.com/mastermind, masterpassiveincome.com/mastermind, it'll take you to the Inner Circle page. You can read all about all the amazing things that we do. And there's even going to be entire 2 days blocked out where I coach everybody. And these events are for all of the mastermind attendees who is in the Inner Circle to get around me. Now, I don't do one on one coaching anymore, but at these events, I do the one on one coaching because now I'm coaching 20, 30 people all at one time. So these are small mastermind groups that you can be a part of. Go to masterpassiveincome.com/mastermind and you can get and apply to be part of my inner circle. All right, now let's jump into today's show where I'm going to be bringing on a fantastic coach here at Master Passive Income. He's done it. He's going to share with you how he did it, but getting over analysis paralysis with Marwan Higgy. All right, here we go. Marwan, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Dustin. How's it going?
Man, this is fantastic. So you love helping people to invest in real estate, just like I do, which is fantastic. Now, before we get there, the thought of financial independence usually gets daunting for a lot of people, but somehow you found me and you started, and now you invest in real estate. Talk to us about like, what were you doing before? And then what got you into investing and how'd you find me?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, since a young age, I've always known that I want to find my way to financial freedom, whatever that meant to a 14-year-old kid. But I tried mobile detailing. I went to door knocking, door to door, selling my services. I've invested in crypto. I've tried e-commerce, a little bit of everything. At some point, I heard your podcast on Spotify. I was listening to the Master Passive Income podcast. And for the first time, I felt it was like a sound strategy that was simple, that I can do and that I can commit to. And so I just went on a trail of consuming your content from the beginning all the way to the end. And then, decided it was time for me to take action and got connected with you. And here we are.
Love it. And you're an engineer by trade, correct?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So very analytical. Talk us through that process. Now, you being somebody who wants to invest in real estate, being an engineer, were there any hangups or were there any problems that maybe some people might have as well that you encountered but got over?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, as an engineer, you're trained to look at everything to the nth degree and calculate the risk every single step of the way. And that's exactly what I did with real estate. I was looking at property after property, and I had these massive spreadsheets, and I still have them saved on my Dropbox account. I think I did something like 100 deal analysis, 100 different properties before ever putting a single offer. And I knew something had to change. I was just overanalyzing everything and not really taking action.
So you found the podcast, started listening to it, and then you joined up with coaching. How was that process? Talk us through that first property. You got a duplex, but then even like any of the, like the analysis paralysis, but then where is it located? How much is the cash flow? All that sort of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So I've got a duplex. It's in Akron, Ohio. The cash flow on it, once you take into consideration everything like vacancy and all the costs that might not show up month to month, is about $500. And I think the big breakthrough was getting from analysis paralysis to action. So I worked with you, and what I really learned is you don't have to have every single thing worked out. You just have to chunk it down into little pieces and then just proceed and take action on each one of those pieces. The first piece was, okay, let's find a market. Here's what a good market looks like. Here's what a bad market looks like. Let's go find 3 markets. And I went and did that. Once I found those markets, it was time to interview property managers. And there was a very detailed step that goes over in the course and on the podcast exactly how to do that. And so I started making the phone calls. I did a couple of interviews, finally found a property manager that I liked, and went ahead and went with that property manager. And then from there, put in offers, found a deal, locked it up under contract, and there we go. We had the first duplex. So it was a very different mindset from I've got to analyze 100 deals as I did to find the perfect one. Then at some point I'll call to I build the system first. And then once I've built the system, it's very clear what a good deal is and what a bad deal is. And then I just put in the action, offer after offer after offer, till I lock one up.
And you said you're making about $500 a month in cash flow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I love that. And I invest in Akron as well. Akron's a great rental area. I'm starting to branch out to cities outside of Akron, Maslin, Barberton, and just a bunch of other cities outside there. Great areas too. So when you were buying that first property, did you have any problems with financing? Like, how did you finance it?
So on my first property, I put 20% down, and I used a DSCR loan to finance the property. And so it wasn't difficult at all. There's a lot of resources that I found on the program that led me to different lenders. I called around with some banks. Ultimately, I landed with a company that was called Loan Bids. And I've actually seen them after the fact at RubeCon. And so I'm not sure if they'll be coming back to Income Builder or not, but I remember meeting with the guys in person. So it was great after just having a relationship over the phone. So they helped me out. They found a lender that would work with me and put my 20% down.
That's awesome. You actually found loan bids before I got connected with them, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I've referred a lot of our students over there because they do a decent job. They do a decent job getting good loans, great rates. And oh, so you mentioned Rubicon, so the Real Estate Wealth Builders Conference. I started in 2022, and then we rebranded to Income Building Live this last year in 2025 because I realized that if I help somebody to get wealth, they don't necessarily get income. It's not a given that they get income. In fact, a lot of people in 2006, when I started investing, when the crash happened in 2008, they all went bankrupt because they were hoping for appreciation. And so the big change was I realized when you invest for income, you always get wealth, like 100% of the time, every single time you get wealth. And so I thought, you know what? We got to change. You got to change what we're doing. We got to focus on income. That's why we start now calling it Income Building Live. But you've been to almost all of them, I believe. If somebody's on the fence about coming to Income Building Live and being around you and me and all the other students, all the other experts, what would you say to them?
Don't be on the fence, take action and book your ticket. It was a huge eye-opening experience the first time that I went. I got to meet so many like-minded people. At the time, I hadn't made my first deal yet. I was actually in the phase of putting in offers, and I met so many other people in the same stage where they're just starting to put offers, trying to get their first deal, people that had a couple of properties, and then people that had what I eventually aspire to having, a full portfolio, bringing in a sizable income that can replace my job. So it was great. Made a lot of contacts. Started a mastermind with some people that I met over there. So it was a big win. So I've been coming ever since.
I love it. I love it. Now, you've also been helping people who are on the fence about joining the coaching and everything. We have the group coaching, we have one-on-one coaching. Basically, wherever somebody's at, let's say they just want the free content, grab all the free content you want, YouTube and podcasts and the books. Like I'll give you my book. I'll just give it to you. And so if that's you, then you can get started. Definitely do that. But there are other people who are like, man, just like you, like I need somebody to get me over that hurdle. Or other people, they might not have cash. They might not have money and they're just stuck because they're like, Dustin, I don't have money to invest in real estate. I'm like, you don't have to have money. There's other ways to do it. We got to get creative in the financing. Could be somebody saying, well, Dustin, I don't have any time to invest. I got a full-time family, full-time job, full-time everything else. Well, we built a business. So you've helped a lot of people now here at Master Passive Income. Walk us through some thoughts or some things that you've learned as you've been helping a lot of students. And I want to pause for a quick second and share that honestly, I really want you to invest in real estate. Now, my new goal is to help 1 million people invest in real estate. So 2 things I would ask from you. Number 1, if you get anything out of this episode, please share it with somebody else. Just say, hey, check out Dustin and Master Passive Income. He really wants to help 1 million people to invest in real estate. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to get you to invest in real estate. Get my real estate investing course absolutely for free. Text the word rental, RENTAL to 33777. Rental to 33777. I'll literally give you my course, show you how to find an area of the country to invest, how to build the business first. I always talk about that, and how to find the right properties, how to make sure you're getting experts to do the work for you, and scale the business to where you're making $250 or more in passive income. Scale it to quit your job. I'll literally get to you, or go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. Obviously, it'll be in the description, but I really, really want you to invest in real estate because the more that actual normal everyday people own real estate, the better everybody's life gets.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I'm basically in a position where anybody that's wanting to learn more about how the coaching at Master Passive Income works or how we're able to help them out, since I've walked that road before and it's worked for me, I'm able to share my experience, really ask them some questions to try to get to the root of where they're at now, what's their goal, what's the vision, and try to chart a path to get there. And a lot of times it happens that it makes sense to work with somebody that's been there, done that, and can really help you shortcut that. One of the big issues, like you mentioned, is a lack of time. So shortcutting that learning curve helps you get there quicker. And another thing is if you have a lack of finances, there's a lot of creative ways to get around that. And just speaking with Charles, for example, who's one of the coaches, I know he's utilized all sorts of ways to finance deals, from putting money down to working with private investors to utilizing different strategies like seller financing and all the sorts. So that's what the coaches are there for. I've been helped by them. I feel blessed to be on the journey now and looking forward to expanding my portfolio. And so, yeah, happy to talk to anybody through that process and help them get started if that's what they'd like to do.
And you know what's interesting too, after you, so I've always had people reach out to me and say, "Hey, Dustin, I want to join your coaching." Or like, I see your Gav coaching. I want to join, but can I talk to somebody first? And I never wanted to have like, I don't want to bother my students and say, "Hey, can you talk to this person and just let them know your thoughts?" And you and I were chatting one day, and I thought, "Hey, let me just ask Marwan. Marwan, would you be up for it? Because you're such a giving person, such a generous person, and you've done it." And you said yes. And that's been such like, it helps so many people when they could just jump on a call and talk to somebody that's actually done it. But not just you've done it, you got your sister to also join as well. Talk to me
That's
about
right.
that.
Sure, yeah. So my sister's a very similar to me, similar case where she wanted to figure out a way to use the money she's saving up from her job to make it work for her. And she looked at a lot of different options. She saw that I was doing real estate and that I had some success with it, and she started asking me questions. Finally, got her to listen to the podcast. She liked it. She was convinced that this is a solid way to make money with her investment. So I told her, okay, if you really want to get the most out of your time and your effort, you got to work with somebody who really knows what they're doing. And so I got her in touch with y'all. And Charles was actually the one that helped her get her first duplex in Ohio as well. I want to say it's in Dayton, Ohio.
That's so that's so fantastic. I absolutely love that. And you got to tell her she has to come to Income Billy Live. I don't she hasn't come to one of the events yet, has she?
She hasn't. No, I'll try to
Oh,
convince her to come to this
yeah.
one.
Let her know. I would love to have her. It'd be great to have her be a part of everything. And no, it's fantastic. And in fact, like when people come to me and they get the one-on-one coaching, and they have kids, I 100%. If you join and you are the part of the one-on-one coaching, and you want your kids to, because you get lifetime access to the courses and everything, you get lifetime access to that. Just give it to your kids. Like, I don't want your kids to have to pay for it. I want everybody generationally, like family wise, like I want everybody. If you have an investing partner that you're investing with, like my goal is to help 1 million people to invest in real estate. And the more people that I can help, the better everybody's life gets. And so it's like, how do I help more people? Podcasts. This has been, Marwan, can you believe it's been 10 years I've been podcasting for Master Passive
Wow,
Income? It's just, I mean, it's
incredible.
just mind blowing to me that now it's like, how do we help more people? And then we get awesome people like you that say, "Hey, I see the vision. I know it works. Let me help out." Now we have other coaches here at Master Passive Income, which is just amazing. Now, is there any tips or lessons that you've learned along the way that somebody maybe, "Hey, here's a roadblock," or "Here's something that I encountered"? What are your thoughts about that?
Sure, yeah. If I'm able to resonate maybe with the type of people that are overthinkers like myself, um, it's really not that complicated. The biggest roadblock for me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, is we sometimes get in our own way, just overthinking and overanalyzing. It's really just getting from that point to a place where we're taking action on a solid plan. That's an important thing. So those two things: get to a place where you're taking action and execute on a solid plan that's been proven to succeed. And I think you're going to be in a really good spot, because like you always say, it's the best time to plan a year was what, 20 years ago? What's the second best time?
Today, absolutely
That's
today. We got to plant that investing
right.
tree. And in fact, for you listening, I want you to be thinking about yourself. Like, I know if you're driving, don't do this, but if you're just sitting around, think and close your eyes and picture yourself 20 years from now. 20 years from now, what would it be? 2046. Oh my goodness, 20 years, 2046. I can't even imagine that. But just imagine it 20 years from now. I want you to be thinking, I'm so glad I started investing. Once I heard Marwan and Dustin talk on the show, I want you to be thinking, I'm so glad I invested. And picture yourself 20 years from now. How many properties could you have? 10, 20? Hopefully, if you buy one property a year, you're going to have 20. And hopefully, in 20 years, you're going to have 20 properties. You're going to be making a lot, like $10,000, $20,000 a month in cash flow on top of the equity. But then I want you to pull that aside and then be thinking, what if you don't take action right now? 20 years from now, what would your life? You'll be still doing the same thing. You don't want to look back and say, I wish I was investing back 20 years ago. I wish when I was listening to Marwan Dustin, I wish I would have invested. No, no, you want to be the opposite. I'm so glad I listened to Dustin and Marwan. I'm so glad I came to Income Building Live. I'm so glad I started investing, because 20 years from now, you got 20 plus properties. You're not going to have to work ever again. So, Marwan, this is awesome. I'm so glad. I can't believe it's been this long since I haven't even had you on the show. I'm so glad. It was like, hey, let's jump on a call and have you on the show. Now, if somebody wants to, like Dustin, I'm on the fence and they want to talk to you, how can they reach out to you? Let's give them your email address and we could also give them a link inside the show notes.
Sure, absolutely. So my email is marwan@masterpassiveincome.com. But the best way to really get in contact with me is go to the Master Passive Income website. That's masterpassiveincome.com. And in the right upper right-hand corner, you got a little button that says book a call. You click that, put together a little survey, and that'll put you in contact with me. And we'll have a conversation, talk about where you're at, what you want to accomplish with real estate, and see where it takes us from there.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So Marwan, MarWan at masterpassiveincome.com. But then at the same time, go to masterpassiveincome.com, top right-hand corner, book a call. Marwan, it's so fantastic having you be a part of Master Passive Income, and super blessed to have you be a part of it. And Angie as well, your sister. But thank you so much for coming on and being a part of Master Passive Income.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much, Justin.
And that is it for today. Go ahead and get my free real estate investing course. Text the word rental to 33777, RENTAL to 33777. You can also join my Real Estate Wealth Builders group coaching. Get all my courses. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next show. See ya.